Okay, so spring greens, you can grow kale and bok choy and all that stuff, but those are all annuals and it takes a lot of time. And we're very busy people, and you also need to then be harvesting the seed. So an option instead is to do perennial greens, greens that take care of themselves. For an example here is Canada violets. So this is a beautiful native plant. It's a little bit like spinach. You can see with the stems and everything like that, these little flowers taste like wintergreen, and the leaves taste the same. And this is something that you could eat handfuls and handfuls of. This isn't like a dandelion green where you would only want one or two leaves. You could eat a substantial amount of this. And you can see here, it just spreads and grows all by itself. And it's actually grown all along the edge of the bed here, all around the edge of the apple tree here too. So the pollinators love it, we do too. Let's head to the back lane and look at the stinging nettle. So all these here are stinging nettle, and what you would do with these is you would kind of pick the tops like this. I find if you come from underneath and kind of go with the grain of it, you get a little less stinging. Oh, I just got stung. And so you would pick lots of these, and it'll grow back multiple times throughout the spring, and you can just keep picking and picking. And again, you wouldn't eat this raw, obviously, because it's still got the stinging. But as soon as it's cooked, then there's no more stingers, and it's one of the most nutritious plants on earth. So we really love to use this in omelets or stir fries. Throw it in a soup. You could even add it to your oatmeal. But yeah, that's a really wonderful plant. Okay, so garlic is another excellent perennial green, and people usually don't think of it that way. But you can leave garlic in the ground year after year after year after year. We have some garlic that's been in the same spot for 15 years. And basically you just use it like you would a leek. As soon as it comes up, these are a little bit larger already, but as soon as it comes up, you can use it in the spring. You'd use it just like you'd use an onion or garlic. But it's so abundant that you can harvest large amounts of these leaves now when they're all tender now in the spring. Stuff them in a bag, throw it in the freezer, and then put that in the food processor and use it to make hummus with in the winter, which is really nice and refreshing to get all of those greens later in the winter. The hummus is a really pleasant green color. So there's the garlic, and then we've got the horseradish here, and this is already, I mean, a week ago, this was just starting to come up. But you can see here, these little spots, they're almost like a broccoli floret. And they're spicy like horseradishes, but they're a little bit milder in the spring. And so all of the leaves are edible. They all taste like horseradish. They're really delicious. And so again, if you wanted to, you can chop and store this and save it for soups for the winter and everything too, along with what you're eating now. And then there's garlic chives. So again, another type of allium, and this is one of the hardiest plants I've ever seen. It spreads a lot by seed. It's grown into every little crack that the seeds fall, and it'll germinate everywhere. But we've also got traditional chives and wild onions, native wild onions here. So, and those will all produce their flowers soon too, which are also edible, nice and edible. So there you go. And the grape leaves are also edible once they start coming out. And then there's also, come on over this way, There's also the basswood tree. So basswood or linden, and when the leaves are really young like this, they taste like lettuce. They're very bland, like romaine lettuce, iceberg lettuce. And so again, this is something that you could eat large amounts of. And how cool is that to be growing basically a lettuce tree? And I think that a basswood is an ideal boulevard tree because it produces the food like this. And then later in the season, it will produce flowers for the pollinators, but it doesn't produce any seeds that want to take root in the mulch everywhere like the ash and elm do. So it doesn't cause any problems. It produces food for us and it produces food for the pollinators. I think that's an awesome boulevard tree, which is why we chose to plant one here. So there you go. A lot of different options. We don't have to worry about the supply chain. We don't have to put in the time and effort to save seed and seed it and water it. We just sit back and wait for the food to appear, and we go and harvest it ourselves. And there's also these lambsquarters. So these are in the spinach and quinoa family. So they are a choice green. People used to grow these as a crop, and now they think of them as a weed. They're in the same family as amaranth. So these are, again, incredibly nutritious, just as enjoyable as spinach. And that's a self-seeding annual. Most people call it a weed. But again, once these are a little bit bigger, then we'll go around and harvest them while they're still tender and set bags of that aside for the winter, and then try putting that in a frittata or something. It's really wonderful. And as you can see here, the grapes are just starting to leaf out, and those are also edible. Think of all those dishes from Italy and Greece, where the Middle East, where they take the grape leaf and they wrap rice and other things and use it as the wrapper. So again, once you start thinking of things this way, there's really just abundance everywhere. And all it is foraging. This isn't even gardening. It's simply just wandering around your yard, watching the seasons change, and picking the things that are ready to eat that day. Really pleasant.